Welcome back to GRC. Thanks for joining me. Had a bit of a break. I actually been doing a lot of racing lately. I went to a on-road meet at Castle Hill and then an off-road meet 2 days later. So I had a huge weekend of RC heaven, which is great. Today I'm gonna I've got a bunch of things to bring out, still videos and stuff. I've still got the state titles, four-wheel drive for stock. But today I want to talk about F1. I'm really starting to really enjoy F1. I do F1 on-road as well as touring car. I'm starting to think I might just do F1 for a little while to focus on it. It's such an amazing class. It's so different to everything I've done. It's just needs such smooth throttle control, really corner speed. Hitting your lines is so important. The first thing I think about F1 is it's very daunting for new people, because even if you've been an RC person doing races for ages, it's very frustrating at the start because it's so hard to drive the car around the track. The traction is so low. It's a direct drive. There's no slipper clutch, so it's just really awkward to get around. So today I'm going to share a lot of the things that I've learned in the last few months just getting into F1. I can now get around the track pretty quickly. I'm okay. We had 9 in the class last Friday, and I came in the middle, so I was 5th, which I was pretty happy with. Getting closer to the fast guys. But yeah, it's a lot of mystery around what I've learned. I want to share what I've learned. Now, I'm not winning races or anything yet, so the other guys are going to have a bit more of an idea, but I can help give you a perspective from a new person in F1 and what's really worked for me so far. So here's my car, F1 Evo. So what I'm going to talk about is the changes I've made. So the first thing is that tyres. I've had these old tyres when I bought the car, so I actually picked up some new tyres. I've got 2 types I want to try, so then I'll come back to you and let you know how they go. These are the soft Volantes, so I've got those. I've got soft for the rear and mediums for the front, which is really cool. So it gets really cold. So I'm in Sydney, racing's in Sydney, so it's really cold on Friday nights. We're almost in the middle of winter here for those from around the country, and so it gets really cold. So yeah, I'm trying soft and medium. And I've also got the Huddy, which are really good as well. So I've got a set of Huddy tyres. So I'm going to try both of these in the coming weeks and let you know how they go. Now, talking about how cold it gets, one of the most important things is getting tyre warmers. So I bought a tyre warmer set. Now, for those who do off-road, tyre warmer is going to be largely alien to you. But this is basically it. Just got a tyre warmer set, a much more one. These are pretty good ones. Now these cups are for a touring car. So one of the things I'm doing is putting just cloth around the wheels so they fit more snugly. And also, if I do use tyre sauce, which I've also got some TDK tyre sauce I want to try, it won't get onto those. Now, when you buy one of these, I don't know why they do this, but there's no power supply in this tyre warmer. So once you buy the tyre warmer, you actually need a way to power it. Now, it's not easy to power it. This is one I've got. So it needs a 10 amp minimum power supply, which you can't just pick up easily. So as I do, I went out and bought a power supply as well. Now, I've got these from Campbelltown Hobbies. So they were really good. They got them out. They have both these in stock. So now this is a pretty top of the line power supply. It gives you, it actually can run 6 things. 3 things at once, which is really good. So it can do up to 60 amps. So I've got this power supply as well. So yeah, as usual, I'm just buying heaps of stuff. But anyway, Campbelltown Hobbies have both those. Now, tyre warmers are a must to get the tyre at the temperature. It'll take laps of your race before you are even close to what you'd be like if you did warm the tyres. I think I currently warm them to 55 degrees Celsius from memory. But some guys do a bit more. Anyway, that's what I've been doing, and it seems to be working for me. So once you get your car, you do need tyre warmers if you want to race. Now, even with tyre warmers, even with good tyres, the car's still going to spin every time you brake, and it's going to be really hard to drive around. You'll be driving around and just nursing it and not really enjoying it. I got to the enjoyment stage, but what I had to do was do a lot of changes to my ESC and my transmitter, which I'm going to share with you today so you get an idea what I've been doing. So take this lid off. Now, I've already got my Wi-Fi Express set up. I want to show you some of my settings. So I've got a Hobbywing ESC, so it's got this Wi-Fi module thing, which I use for my other off-road cars as well. So what I have done is, I'm just going to show, I think you can see this. So a couple of changes that I made were to reduce the max brake force down to 62.5%. and that was 100. At 100, it's ridiculous. As soon as you brake at all, it just crashes. And I also did the brake frequency, changed it from 1K to 4K, which just softens the aggression of the brake. Now, I also changed my drive frequency from 1K to 8K, which also softens the drive frequency. So those are 3 settings that I made to my ESC. Massive difference, right? So the braking that low, you can actually full brake and it actually just brakes without spinning. You don't even get fishtailing. I haven't been doing that, which has been great. Now, obviously the setup of the car makes a difference as well, but I haven't touched the setup yet because I bought this car secondhand, so it was set up pretty well. So I'm just focusing on getting it, just trying to get it with this current setup. Now that I'm at the stage where I can drive around really quick, I'm going to start tweaking setup on the actual car itself. But that's the changes I made to my ESC. Now, beyond that, I also, on my controller, let me just get this up. So my DR setting for my steering is down to 42%. So that's really low. So that affects how aggressive, when you turn the steering wheel, how much the wheels react. So I just wanted to just break the reaction down and slow the car down in terms of all its brake, all its acceleration, as well as its steering. And beyond that, I also lowered the curve 20% either side. So it's not a linear curve. What that means is initially it goes slower. When you fully turn, it still turns the same maximum as, so the curve doesn't reduce the maximum, just reduces how aggressive it turns. So it's not a straight line, it'll turn slowly and then go in. So I found those changes, so there's 2 changes to my transmitter, which is the steering change, and the 3 changes, 2 to the brake and 1 to the acceleration, completely transformed the way the car went. I was smashing my PBs, I was doing multiple laps more in my 5 minutes, and I was able to really start enjoying driving the car around the track. So it was, now I'm at the stage, I'm enjoying it so much. So like I said, the throttle control is super important. It's so important to hit your apexes and your drive lines when you're driving F1. It feels like the most realistic RC I've done. I find the off-road pretty good. The touring car to me is, I'm enjoying it as well, but to me, it's more like a computer game where it's just point. It's not, the cars are just so ridiculously quick and grippy and they're four-wheel drive that it doesn't feel like you're driving a car. It just feels a bit more like RC, which is a bit weird because it is RC. But with the F1, when you're driving around, it's flowing. It just feels like, you're really driving a car, which is quite cool. So I can highly recommend it if you're interested in getting the F1. We have a pretty good scene building once again up at Castle Hill on road on Friday nights. It's every Friday night. I'm trying to make it every second week, can't do it every week, but we had 9 last week. I think the previous week they actually had 2 heats of it. So it's great fun. There's a good camaraderie with F1 guys because we're such a niche group. There's a lot of sharing knowledge and I find it's really good. So really enjoying it. So I'm going to I'll bring some F1 videos here and there as I go because now that I'm doing off-road, and F1's probably my main 2 and touring car might take a bit of a backseat for a bit. And I'm going to share how I go with the tyres and I'll keep coming back with my thoughts as I get faster and faster. And also at some stage I'll look at my times and see what I'm doing there as well. So that's my F1 video for today. I also raced off-road on Sunday and had a really good performance, best I've gone in ages, made the A main in the 2-wheel drive out of 48 runners. So I was really happy with that, came 9th overall, which was awesome. And even the 4-wheel drive went really well. I won the B main, which was great. So I took a break from footage because I've got a lot of footage backlog I need to get through. I didn't want to just have more footage. I do regret it because I had an awesome race with Bill Zawalis in the B main, but I'll get to that another time. So anyway, hope you any questions, post them down below if you want to hear more about F1. There's a lot of F1 cars you can buy second hand. So that's pretty easy. They're not really expensive, the kits to get into. 21.5 motor is the motor. That is just the stock motor for it. I'm happy to answer any questions you've got about F1. And if you are in Sydney area and you want to look at getting into it, please let me know. That'd be great. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll follow up with the videos a bit more frequently again now that I'm back in the swing of things. I'm going to go through my off-road setups because I did really well. Also, the Nationals have been announced at Hills at the end of the year, which I'm already going to, which is great. So I'll come back with that next time. In the meantime, and I will get the 4-wheel drive stock state finals out as well. I've been asked about that, so I'll get that. Yes, so thanks for joining. If you like the video, please like it, please subscribe, and please ask any questions. And thanks to everyone who comes up to me at the track and writes to me and says how much they're enjoying the videos. It makes a big difference to my enthusiasm to do them, and I know people are getting a lot out of them, so that's great. Thanks to my sponsors, Proline and Campbelltown Hobbies, and I'll speak to you next time. Peace.